everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Yes, I finally post another video. Well, this video is a little bit different from what I normally post here on YouTube because normally I'll be posting like a gameplay video from iRacing, like my wins, my podiums, or my epic fail moment. So yeah, this video is all about me educating myself to become a better driver in oval. Long story short, I took a coaching session with one of the coach on virtual racing school, and I must say I learned a lot, like a lot. So yeah, I recorded the coaching session, and I did a little editing for it for you guys. So I really hope this video is useful for you and you guys enjoy watching it. Alright, I'm not gonna spend so much time just talking on this opening video. Let's get into it.
I'm just curious, what do you think biggest flaws are, what you want to work on the most? Like when you go out there and race, or like NASCAR racing, what do you feel like you struggle with the most with?
I struggle the most at the start, like where everybody just being like super aggressive at the start. Like that's
Okay.
my biggest weakness, I think. But throughout the race, speaking of fighting with old tires or stuff, I feel like I'm pretty okay with it. So
Right. So yeah, we'll start off with just going over your driving, seeing what you're doing differently, where you can improve the most, and maybe go in the hosted session, working on some more. But then also like I can go out there, we go side by side a bit. It's a little different. Like we talk about working on restarts and stuff. It's a lot of it is like you just got to keep doing races and like get that experience because you can't really get that true 30 35 cars anywhere else. Like AI racing doesn't really do the trick for you. They don't really act like cars, but we can still simulate like dirty air. That's huge. Like they've made that a lot more aggressive now, last like month or so, since the June update. Has a pretty big impact on how you'll race. Let's get into it. A couple things I saw were your line in general. Line's very important in NASCAR racing. It's important all racing, but pretty sensitive at a track like this. So I'll just play through this lap. What's really important to notice is the line bar down here. It tells you where you are compared to my lap, which my lap is the video. And where this bar goes, left or right, is where you're at. So as I play through it, instantly notice here on entry, you turn in a lot later. We get to the same spot through the center, and then through the exit, it's generally okay. Like you're within a couple feet here and there. But the big point is here on entry, just being a little too high, and then you kind of turn sharply down, and overall, you're not quite arcing smoothly through the corner. So like the first thing you'll notice improvement from, and you can use a couple little marks on the track to help you. And one is this little sponsor up here. There's like this little banner that sticks out from the fence. And it's not that I'm turning in at that banner, but I'm turning in a little bit before it. So it's kind of like, I always think of these as like a zone where it's like the braking zone or your turn in zone, right? Because you're never going to turn in like that perfect point every lap. I'm not going to expect that. But this is how I do it. If I'm about this far away, maybe a couple car lengths away, whatever like distance you want to do in your head, that's when you turn in. You just have to eyeball it with stuff like this because there's never going to be that perfect thing. There's rarely that perfect thing on the wall, like a braking board that you can turn right in at or lift right in at. It's like more common on a road course, but NASCAR, this is how you got to kind of do it. Like, okay, I'm that far away, I'll eyeball it, and then I'll turn in. You actually lift off the gas the exact same time I do on both sides of the track. The main issue is just where you turn in. I'm already turning in here. I begin my turn in. It's a smooth turn in, so that's not like I turn the wheel hard. It's like a gradual turn in, and you just do it later. So then you're 5-6 feet to the right. At this point, you now have to turn the wheel pretty hard to get back down the track. And this is where it gets more about the tire stuff. But this very much relates to speed. So I'll switch over here to advanced telemetry mode. You can just see the tire temp spike, which is all you really care about when you're looking at tire temps. You just care about what the spike's at. So like through 1 and 2, you are the dotted line here, top right front temperatures. You have this giant spike compared to my lap. Now down the line here in 3 and 4, it's much less because if you noticed, we go back all the way up ahead to 3 and 4. You don't really turn in too late here. You're only a couple feet up, right? Still you can improve on it. You're still turning in late, but what ends up happening is you turn in late, you turn in too sharply, you shock the tires, and then you're kind of offline. And then you get back online, but you're off sequence now. So the simple bit is, yeah, just try turning in earlier. It'll be better on your tires, and you'll be able to carry that speed smoother because it's NASCAR is just all about like that smooth line through the corner. And that leads me to the second thing I see in this lap is your steering. So this run right in here in the middle. And I'm also braking a bit and you're not. So that's a little bit of why you're a little hard on the front tires. I'm using a little bit of brake to take pressure off the front tires, get it slowed down, get the nose pointed. But here, you're kind of going in and out off the limit and just kind of steering too much. You have these like quick little movements. You just got to hold pretty steady overall through the corner. The only time you have to really work the wheel is like out of the corner and when the car unloads, gets a little bit weightless, like down the straightaway just to keep it kind of straightened. But that's the biggest thing I see like on a couple of these laps. I'm comparing is your fastest lap from your session. This is like your second lap of the run, and this is my second lap of the run too. It's the main thing I see is like it's mainly steering wheel stuff, and you could have been on the brakes here. That's a big difference too, like just using some brake, but that goes with the line I'm running. That just trail brake is very important. Like if you need to slow down a bit, you rather just trail brake it out instead of just slam the brake, let it roll. Getting more into it is thinking about how you're treating the tires, but it's really simple. It's like you kind of mess up your momentum, you turn in too sharp, and it's scrubbing speed off. You have kind of a weird angle, and we're maybe at the same point here, but you kind of rush into the center with about 3 miles an hour too much because you pick up the throttle here. Because I think at this point you turn down the track and it feels like you're going too slow, so you have that like I gotta pick up the throttle here. And it kind of makes your situation a bit worse because you get to the end of the corner and then it gets right about this point, you start getting really tight because you sped up too much in the center. Like this whole time from about this point onward, you're actually holding more speed than me, and then it eventually catches up to you because you're too fast on the tires from what they can handle, and then you get tight here, and then you have to lift a little bit, or you just have to wait on the throttle. The general thing you do at Dover is like a double apex, but it's very slight, and you turn in earlier, get your first apex here, it'll move up the track a little bit, and then you're very careful on the throttle because you need it to turn back down the track very slightly, but it'll straighten up your exit better. One of the reasons I'm lower than you here, and then I'm straightening up the wheel much more. And then when you go through this exit, it's like it's just smooth. I mean, I got a little close to the wall there. I mean, you can see on the steering, like the reason I'm using so much less steering than you on the exit is I'm not getting tight. It makes sense that you're steering that much because you're getting tight at this point. You're like, I don't want to hit the wall. Yeah, so it's really just those two main things is your line, which is really just entry, and then from there, just kind of trusting the force feedback a bit more and just being smooth in the center, out of the corner, kind of having a progressing turn in, waiting on it. It's using your throttle to turn the car more than the steering wheel. It's really what it is for the exit. So I'm throwing like a lot of stuff at you here. We can keep going over like one step at a time.
Yeah.
But that's fine. We got time.
Yeah.
When we go drive, like the first thing to work on is just turning it at the right point and positioning the car right through the corner, keeping it decently low. Like the high point in your corner will be pretty much in the center, and then just trying to run low line. And then you work on the steering stuff because it's the same thing kind of over here in 3 and 4 a little bit where I see these little movements. The amount you're steering, it's important to, of course, not turn too much to the corner because if you turn too much, then you're scrubbing the front tires against the ground. Like you're going over the limit. I'm sure you've heard that term a lot. Just racing, like going over the limit. And that just really means like, okay, your wheels are either turned too much for the speed you're going. So you're going past what the tire is capable of. So you get tight. You have like these little moments where you're kind of working the wheel. You are going like over the limit, under the limit a little bit, over the limit. In NASCAR, with the tire we have on here, it's all about just being smoother. Like I'm working the wheel a little bit, just smoother than what you're used to. When it's that much different, I think you'll notice like, okay, initially when you go out there and drive, it's gonna be really uncomfortable to drive that like differently because you have to like untrain what you're used to, like which a lot of stuff that you probably don't think of. That's just natural driving to you. So initially you'll be slower. But little stuff like this, I think, is easier. I wouldn't even say it's little stuff. It's a big thing. Like, it's a big difference. So it makes it a bit easier to change. Like, if this was a few meters here, a few meters there, it's harder to kind of work towards. But when it's a big difference in the steering and, like, the line, I think you'll automatically hit a couple good corners, start to make a bit more sense.
Right.
Like, what you'll notice is when you turn in a bit earlier, you just feel like you have a lot more grip. Like, here, like I said, like, you weren't too far off, but still 3 feet is 3 feet. It's like a half a car width up, and then you kind of turn sharper, and then from here, just with how sensitive the tire is, like you already have a little bit less grip. Like anytime you're over driving the NASCAR tire, you just lose a little bit of grip because it overheats a little bit. It's not as bad as it used to be though. But generally, like, you don't want to drive too much differently, even from fresh tires to old tires. Like, it's just like small adjustments, like braking a little bit more, waiting a little bit longer to pick up the throttle. Like, I'm doing the same thing every lap. You get a lot of tire fall off in like 5-10 laps, and then it kind of doesn't get too much worse unless you get a really, really, really long run in your race. Then eventually your tires can just run out of tread. When you want to do some like race runs, you could kind of get away with doing like 20 laps at a time to get a good feel of the fall off. But we'll just work on kind of a little bit of hot lap speed for now, just to work on your line, because I'm a believer in you want to work on hot lapping. A lot of people are like, hey, work on your long run, work on your tire life, but you want to work on like that pure speed, you know? Like you want to go as fast as possible and then work your way down, in my opinion. I think you could start getting on the throttle a little earlier, like just a little bit earlier in the corner than you have been.
Earlier, okay. Hey, wait, what's the target? Whatever.
I would say 20-35. You're on 8-lap old tires now too.
Oh wow.
But like,
Okay.
like a 23.5 was your best in a little bit colder tracks. So I think if you can get to a 23.4, I mean that's a pretty big improvement right off the bat. But you're also on tires that are slower.
Oops, sorry.
So when you start your turn in, do it slower.
Slower in.
Slower as in sorry, like the steering motion itself.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. Not like your speed. Like you still want to throw the car in the corner with a lot of speed. Your liftoff point and all that, but like the actual motion of you turning the wheel, just do it a little slower. Now with that, you can lift a little bit later.
I think my force feedback, I don't know, I feel like it's a bit too heavy.
That can definitely happen.
What's your preference, speaking of the force feedback?
So what the sweet spot to me is with force feedback is it shouldn't feel like it's taking control of you. Like it shouldn't be so heavy that you can't maneuver it. It shouldn't be knocking the wheel out of your hands and stuff like that. If it's doing that, it's too heavy. It's like I always try to find that sweet spot of if I need to save the car, make a quick correction, it's light enough to do that, but it's heavy enough to feel the force feedback too. What do you feel through the corner? Do you feel like it's kind of fighting you a little bit, or do you feel like it's too light? Where like, so are you doing that because the wheel's heavy, or are you doing that because the wheel's light?
Heavy.
Okay, so maybe consider to go a little lighter on it, just by like a click or two.
New tires or what?
You can finish this lap and then yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, you keep getting faster, right? You've done that 23:44 now. That's your best.
Yeah.
And I feel like on that lap, like you got the line down right. You were even just under driving a little bit. You know, like you can kind of feel it. Where like you got the entry to center down, and then you got to the exit. Like, oh, I can go a lot faster in this. You know, you're understanding more and more.
Right.
You can get faster from here too. Like my best was 0.05. In these conditions, you're about 0.3 off at the moment. We can look at a little bit of telemetry, or we can go out there and you can follow me around and experience some dirty air if you like.
We can experience some dirty air, I think, just to get the idea, you know, like.
So there's the dirty air, which is just going to make you tighter, right? Just the car's not going to turn as well.
Okay.
But then there's also the effect of just having a car in front of you and not having the exact vision of the track that you've practiced, right? And that's another one of those things that the simple answer is just experience racing around other cars and just knowing kind of where you're at on the track without having to see a specific point. Just kind of overall vision to the screen, because it's like when you follow me here, you won't have the exact same line of sight. One thing to work through, and then the other thing to work through is the car is going to be tight. So it's just gonna you can do all the same stuff, and then you'll notice it get tighter. So just try to do what you've been doing, and that will give you the best understanding of how to kind of change your driving.
Oh, no, I was done. I was done.
It's fine.
That's not
I'll
dirty air, right? No, that's not.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're the dirty air extends about over a second.
Oh,
So
yeah? Oh,
yes,
huh.
yes.
Wow.
So it gets worse and worse when you get closer. So you're in pretty bad dirty air right now. But it honestly extends to about a second and a half. It gets worse the closer you get. So
Okay.
I'll keep you within that zone and just go as fast as you can in it, and I'll just keep you in the dirty air here. Because at this moment I have way better downforce than you because I have clean air, right?
Mm-hmm.
So no matter what you do, kinda can't get to me because of it. If I'm not making a mistake.
Mm-hmm. Huh.
Plus you have like a lot more speed.
Wow.
So you can feel how it just kinda throws you out of your rhythm a bit. But yeah, just focus on driving like you were driving in clean air. Just do what you gotta do to do that same line behind me.
Why am I? Oh God. I feel like the exit is like bad, but maybe
So
just.
what happens is you get tight, right? And then you're
Uh-huh.
turning sharper
Yeah.
by the exit and it just throws, yeah, that's Dover.
Dang.
This is part of the difficulty of Dover. So
Right,
the
right.
adjustment you have to make now, because what I notice is like when you get in the corner, a lot of the times in the center, you kind of move up the track hard. Is that's where you work on your trail braking a little bit.
Copy.
Like work on using just the right amount of trail brake, feel the car through your force feedback as best you can, and keep it on line. But yeah, the issues you're experiencing right now is because of the dirty air.
Okay. So
Yeah, it's purely dirty air because
this is
you're
what I
this
get
is
in the race,
you're within
basically, right?
you're within 6/10 of me right now, so double this gap and you're still gonna get some dirty air effect.
Wow. Okay. Jesus.
Yeah. So that's where you have to. That's why it's good to practice behind another car, and keep remembering what you were doing in clean air, and just try to accomplish that. And the differences are basically okay. Might have to brake a little bit, maybe a little bit more, and you have to be a little bit more careful on the initial throttle to help it turn. You just hit your fastest lap in dirty air.
Not bad. Okay.
While you
I
follow me,
get.
even with dirty air, you can kind of see.
Yeah, yeah,
You can also see how I drive the track too a little bit.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Now, don't be too fooled. There's a little bit of an illusion. It's always going to look like the car ahead of you is turning in later or is higher on the track than you.
Oh.
So,
Okay.
like, it might look like I'm turning in really high, but I'm not. It's just kind of an illusion, a little bit of netcode.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, so
Huh.
don't try to like copy what I'm doing on entry as much. But when you see me kind of go up the track a little bit in the center like this,
Mm-hmm.
and I accelerate slowly down the track,
Mm-hmm.
that's where I'm gaining on you. In general, like just not talking dirty air, but just driving. I think you've gotten the entry down well. And you're getting faster and faster, but that little bit of speed is from just me holding more speed here. It then goes up the track a little bit. Maybe this is a little too much, and then I work the throttle to have it rotate back down to the bottom again. And again, I'm not moving, almost a lane off the bottom, but like a little over the width of the car. That'll help you for your exit because it gives you a straighter angle out of the corner. You can straighten up the wheel a little bit more, and then you can use more throttle. And then you don't have to worry about it wanting to kill you on the exit like it always does here, where it just wants to spin out.
Uh-huh.
We'll go through this corner like the same,
Wow.
and then stay on that line. I'll run high here, and you'll feel the difference. Oh, you ran high. So yeah, we'll try that again.
No,
We'll try
I'm
it again.
sorry. Okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to get. I'm trying to give you clean air. You got dirty air again, so there you go.
Okay.
So I'll run up here, and all of a sudden you'll have quite a bit more
car
grip.
doesn't want to turn. Wait, so in this situation, what do I do if this car doesn't want to turn?
If it's so you can do a couple different things. You can either like lift out of the gas earlier, or trail brake a bit more, like a bit longer. Like use some more trail brake than what you've been using. Again, I haven't seen your telemetry since we've kind of since you've gotten faster. So I don't know. Like, have you been using the brake really at all?
I've been using the brake, yeah.
Okay. So like what you can change is use a little bit more on the trail brake, like just push a little bit harder, not much, like just a little bit to make that adjustment. You don't have to hold it as long, but just use a little bit more to and judge it based on how far you're going up the track, right? Because if you go way up here, you know, you use a little bit of brake. You still want to get to the same spot, like I said, clean air to dirty air. You want to be on the same line. So whether that's having to use a little bit more trail brake or lifting out of the gas earlier, you have to find what's better for you, and that's how you kind of come to your own conclusion on it.
Right.
So whichever of those two works better, whichever of those two is faster, you do. That's the difference when you're in dirty air. It's just taking speed out of it with either the throttle or the brake.
The brake, right.
And it's very small adjustments. You don't have to do too much more. So here, pass me, and I'm gonna see if I can get to your bumper to show you what I was talking about with the looseness. Just drive. Don't worry about me. Just drive. See, right there is where I gain a lot of time on you to the center. So try to pick up the throttle. I'm just picking up the throttle earlier.
Oh, okay.
And then when I get on the throttle, I'm not really hard on the throttle. I'm working it, and then I full throttle late. It mixes a little bit with, now that you're in clean air, you can hold, so like right there. So
yeah.
You use too much brake on that
Because it's getting tight right there. So I was okay.
Yeah, it's a little too much though. You don't have to do that much. You can slow it down a little smoother than that, and just reposition a little later in the corner. You can let it move up the track a little bit if you're that far off where you really have to hit the brakes, and then just wait a little longer to get on the throttle. It's like you don't have to do that.
Yep.
And normally when you brake, if you do plan on braking into a corner, right, you want to do it earlier than later. Like you do it initial. So like there, right, you're slowing down quite a bit. I let it go up the track, and then I cut down like this.
I was about to ask that. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you slowed down so much, you then you do your second apex way too early, and then get tight on exit. So instead, if you're gonna brake late like that, don't brake as much, and then you just let it kind of go up. See how I'm just letting it go up the track a little bit, and then go back down. So don't brake that much.
I feel like this is the most intense practice that I've ever had in 2024. I mean, I learned a lot. Thank you so much.
Yeah, hopefully I always worry about this overwhelming and like too much information, but that's why we record the session so you can watch back.
Exactly.
There's just so much that goes into it. I don't want to sit on one topic for too long. There's a lot kind of go over just to at least get some baseline knowledge of that hopefully I've helped you with.
So that was it. Okay, that was the most intense practice session I've ever had. In my life so far, I learned so many new things. And I tried my best, to remove my bad habit and try to apply what the coach taught me in the session. And I know it doesn't come like overnight or anything, I still need to practice. I still need to put a lot of time in sim and try to apply what I learned. I feel like I've been improving, from this 2-hour coaching session. Because I had a league race in Oval. People in this league race telling me like, Els, you did so great in this race, you did fantastic. And I feel like, yeah, I'm improving. So yeah, if you guys ask me like, is it worth it to book a coaching session if you wanna like improve your skill? I would say yes, it is totally worth it. Because the coach will telling you like where you did wrong, where to improve. There are some things that you can quickly notice, but with having a coach like actually watching how you do a lap or how you drive, they quickly like spot the mistake and telling you like how to do it right. You can learn like so much faster than just learning by yourself, just doing a lap solo or jumping into the race with not much of preparation. So yeah, I'll definitely book another coaching session, maybe next time for supercars, because yeah, I've been enjoying the supercars a lot. So if you want to get bunch of car setups in iRacing, or if you want to book a coaching session so you can improve your skill in general, you can go to www.virtualracingschool.com. There you can choose which subscription suits you best, pick any car setup that you need every week for official race, and you can also book a one-on-one coaching session through the website. I've been using the VRS setup for a while, and I must say I really love their setup. Like, I find it really useful. I want to say thank you very much for VRS team for making this session happen, for making this video happen, so I can share what I learned to you guys. And yeah, don't forget to subscribe to VRS. See you on the next video. Bye bye.